Hey, it's me, Jimmy D, and welcome to our WandaVision Episode 8 review. I'm here with Aly, like normal, and I'm going to cover this Marvel superhero nerdy stuff, and Aly's going to kind of talk about the trauma that Wanda, aka the Scarlet Witch, goes through, because...
I'm a psychologist, okay?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We get some expert views. So, I personally love the trip down memory lane because we got to see and witness stories that we've only been told through exposition over the course of the movies. We got to see Wanda's parents and how that bombing took place with the Stark bomb, and the fact that her dad was sneaking movies and that's how they were learning English, which I think is a fantastic little story element to it. And then it really concretes why Wanda made everything a sitcom and it went through all these different ones because that's what she was watching. That's what she watched all her life.
That she reverted to childhood. That's what you do with trauma, though. You revert back to happy memories. Alright, this is all great and all, but here's my biggest problem with the episode.
Okay, go for it.
What the fuck does Agatha have to do with half of this shit?
Okay, so...
Why does she care so much? Like, what is her role in all of this?
So she was a Salem witch that killed all the witches. So,
Same.
And she said there at the end that Wanda was just a myth. But she was chaos magic, and she is the legend of the Scarlet Witch.
I guess it's just, I don't really...
I don't understand her motive.
That's my problem. The biggest problem is, like, the motive just doesn't make sense.
What I assumed was Agatha wanted Wanda's magic. And
that's what I assumed at first. And then I was like, maybe not, because then she's like, let's go through memory lane. And I was like, okay, well, is she really bad? Because now she's making Wanda come to terms with all the trauma she's had in her life. But for what purpose? And why is she holding two children? Chokeholding them?
Yeah, choke, like straight up choking them. And it
literally, like, this episode was great in terms of the psychology behind it, and that I could not be any more impressed. Disney, look, Disney, they know how to do psychology. They've done it for God knows how long. But I think the biggest miss here is, okay, well...
Why?
And, maybe they're going to explain it next episode. Maybe it's going to go into, like, the movies that this is supposedly supposed to, like, lead into. But I still hate it. Like, if you don't watch everything that's, like, Marvel, like, say, like, you were just a viewer, just because you're like, oh, this looks cool. Like, I got into it for the psychology aspect. As a viewer, I'd be like, WTF, why don't I get all my answers? This doesn't make sense, and then I wouldn't want to continue.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest issue.
And here's the thing. Episode. As you watch the Marvel movies with me and go through them, you'll be like, oh, okay.
And and like it does, like, I'm connecting a lot of things from the movies that you've shown me so far. And it makes a lot of sense. And I like how Marvel, like, all the superheroes are connected.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes it very unique in a way. Because, I mean, like, I don't see, like, Batman and, like, Superman in the same, like, little area. Like, it's just cool how they intertwine and then how they each impact each other. It's just... I'm a little bit nervous with how next episode, like the finale
of
this whole season's gonna end. Very well done episode. don't get me wrong, guys. If you hit that like dislike button, like, I get it. It's just explain to me, okay? Explain to me what
in
the
the comments. Help Aly understand.
I don't understand the motive. It doesn't make any sense.
Or join our Discord, link in the description to help her out. And I get that as a viewer that has not seen all the Marvel things, because you could have just, let's say you just had Disney Plus because you watched The Mandalorian, and everybody's talking about WandaVision because it's like the event show. It's like a Game of Thrones type show. When an episode drops, everyone's talking about it. So you're like,
not
all right.
Everybody that's watching it is a superhero fan, like huge into Marvel. Like, yeah, I'm getting into it, but I still don't know everything, and I feel like there's more people like that. Maybe not on this channel watching this review right now, but like
overall, the chances of someone like that is high with this show.
Yeah,
I get it. As a comic book Marvel person, this show is fantastic. The first 2 episodes were slow, but now that I know where it's coming from, in the way they built it up, it's great.
No, they built it up wonderfully.
The only little thing I have, and we'll have to see how this plays out next week. I feel like because the episodes were so short, and because they waited this long to get to Agatha, I don't know how they're going to wrap up everything. And yes, I know it's going to go into Spider-Man 3 and Doctor Strange.
And maybe she's going to play a huge role in those.
And I know she's going to be in Doctor Strange, Wanda. So...
Not just Wanda, but I mean like Agatha.
Maybe.
Like, maybe she has a bigger role than what we're seeing.
Yeah. Because in my CW normal episode TV show reviews and movie reviews, my brain thinks, and this is the new way Marvel's doing it with all the TV shows connecting with the movies, my brain knows that a big bad should be wrapped up by the end of the season. So
I mean, like, yeah. But I mean, also like taking into account that they are trying to lead it into movies and stuff.
Now, but
it's a tricky balance.
I do want to talk about the post-credit scene. Motherfucker, because his name shall not be spoken.
Is he Voldemort?
Got Vision's body online.
Yeah, no, but we knew that was his objective the entire time. He kept saying that Vision is basically a weapon.
Yes.
And he was treating him like a weapon. And so he used Vision and the technology to create a weapon. So it reminds me of like Stark Industries, like when they're like creating weapons.
Well, so what he did, that drone he sent in to shoot Wanda, it has some of Wanda's magic in it. That's
what he was after.
So now he was able to wake up Vision, and Vision looks at his hand. Well, he almost looks like Tron. For people who know what Tron looks like, kind of looks like Tron. But he looks at his hand, and then it ends. And I don't know what they're going to do with this. Because is it going to be an evil Vision? Or is it going to be the Vision back alive, but being controlled?
That's actually a good question.
Because
I didn't think of that.
They didn't really bring anything into account of how Vision is.
But is it actually Vision? Like, how many times can you die and then come back to life and remember that?
Apparently, third time's the charm.
Yes, but even
I don't know where it's going to go, and we really need to see next week's episode, the finale, to figure out and iron out these kinks, because this episode, while it was so fucking good...
It was very good, yes.
It created more wrinkles that I don't know if one episode, especially if it's still... it's not even a full hour. If it's still this short, I don't know how they're gonna wrinkle everything out, because I don't think they can carry 4 storylines into the movies. They could.
That's a lot of storylines, though, that carry into movies.
But then it's like, is it those movies need to have their own storyline as well?
Well, that's the thing, is like, are those movies just going to continue off this storyline, or are they going to have their own and it's going to be intertwined?
Yeah.
I feel like that it's too muddled right now.
Yeah, right now, because we don't know what the end game is. No pun intended.
Whoa. Fucking puns over here.
Because we don't even know Agatha's motive. So, like, we can't even predict what's going to happen next week, which is fantastic to do for a show.
Who knows? Maybe she's working with
the guy.
Other person. With the
motherfucker.
Him. And I've questioned this. I've questioned this for a while. I just haven't said anything. Because, like, what else would be the point?
Yeah, why would she be there randomly?
Why have, like, two kind of separate villains, you know?
And so the envelope was planted in Wanda's car while she was at Sword headquarters.
Exactly.
And how did Agatha get to Westview? Because she wasn't there originally.
Oh, like, it leads up to, all right, like, who is Agatha? What is the motive? There's just a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions.
Which isn't a bad thing. Like, I think an episode should leave you off with questions. It's just, I'm concerned because the finale is next week.
Yes.
And, well, we got this to work with.
Yeah. So what would you rate it, Aly?
No, I gotta rate it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
I hate rating it. I give it an 8, 7.5, 8, only because of being, like, really nitpicky here. It's everything that I have my concerns with, but from a psychologist standpoint, I do love the way that this show has addressed trauma. I mean, I deal with trauma with clients and stuff, so it's really well done in that aspect, and could not be any more proud that psychology is doing this right. Because this is a very, very sensitive topic that can easily be glorified and make the stigma even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna get into it. Like, yeah, it doesn't really help the stigma, but it
brings it to the public's eye.
It does. Yeah. It's good attention in a way.
Yeah.
I
personally, I give it an 8.5 to a 9. I would deduct some points just because I feel like in a way, I feel like this storyline, I don't know where it's going, and I feel like it might just get cut short. Yes, that's going to want us wanting more, but as a season,
like, how are they going to address that, you know?
Yeah, so as a TV season, because it is a TV show, one season should have some sort of beginning and end.
Yeah.
So that's sort of why I'm taking a couple points off, because it's like they introduced Agatha last episode, and I was a little cautious of how they were going to play it out, and we really didn't learn. Agatha was an afterthought during this episode. She was just kind of in the background as we got to see Wanda's trauma. So that's sort of why I give it an 8.5 or 9. The Marvel stuff, of course, fantastic. I love seeing some stuff that we got as exposition for like the past 6-7 years in these movies with Wanda. So that really stands out. But anyway, let us know in the comments below what you thought. Help explain some stuff to Aly, either in the comments or the Discord. Link to that is the description below. And like always, we will see you in the next one. Later.